Parenting is a wild ride, isn't it? Some days you're on top of the world because everything's going right. Your kid's happy, you're happy, and it feels like you've got this parenting thing down. But then, there are those other days. The ones where nothing seems to go right, and you end up wondering if you're doing anything right at all. Sounds familiar, right? Here's the thing, though. There's no perfect guidebook on how to raise kids. What works for one child might not work for another because every kid is different. But while we're all figuring out this parenting gig, there's something pretty important we've started to realize. The words we use with our kids, they really matter, like, a lot. Kids look up to us. They listen to what we say, and they take it to heart. That's why when we talk about parenting, we need to talk about the kind of words we should try to avoid. Some things, when said, can stick with a kid for a long time, and not in a good way. Today we're going to chat about those kinds of words. We're diving into the topic of toxic parenting by highlighting 5 things that can really impact a kid if we're not careful with our words. Now, before we jump in, remember this isn't about pointing fingers or making anyone feel bad. We're all doing our best, right? But sometimes, we might not realize that something we're saying could be hurting our kids. It's all about learning and doing better once we know better. So let's get into it and explore these 5 phrases together, keeping in mind that it's all about growing and improving for the sake of our little ones. Have you ever heard someone say, "Why can't you be more like your brother or sister?" Maybe you've even caught yourself saying it. It seems like a simple question, but it's loaded with a lot of baggage. Let's unpack it, shall we? First off, when we compare our kids to their siblings, we're stepping into tricky territory. Think about it. How do you feel when you're compared to someone else? Not great, right? It's like saying, "Hey, you're not good enough as you are." And when kids hear this, especially from their parents, it hits hard. They start thinking they're in some sort of competition with their brother or sister, one where they're always one step behind. This kind of talk can stir up a whole mix of feelings. We're talking jealousy, hurt, and even anger. And it doesn't just affect how they feel about themselves, it changes how they see their sibling too. Instead of being their playmate or partner in crime, their brother or sister becomes their rival, someone they have to outdo to earn their parents' love and approval. But here's the thing. Every kid is their own person. They've got their own set of talents, things they're good at, and things they're not so good at. And that's perfectly okay. One might be a math whiz while the other shines on the soccer field. When we celebrate these differences instead of comparing them, we help our kids see their own value. They learn to appreciate what makes them unique, and they start to understand that it's not about being better than someone else. It's about being the best version of themselves. So, instead of asking why they can't be more like their sibling, why not celebrate what makes each child special? "I love how creative you are with your art," or "Your curiosity about how things work is really cool." These kinds of compliments go a long way in building up their self-esteem and encouraging them to pursue what they love. Plus, it makes for a much happier and peaceful home when everyone's not trying to one-up each other. In the end, fostering a home where each child feels valued for who they are, not compared to someone else, is a win-win. It helps them grow into confident individuals who know their worth doesn't come from being like someone else, but from being themselves. And isn't that what we all want for our kids? Ever heard someone say, "You're too sensitive," or maybe you've said it yourself? It might seem harmless, but it's a bit like telling someone their feelings don't matter. Let's break it down. When a kid hears, "You're too sensitive," what they're really hearing is that their feelings are wrong or too much to handle. Imagine you're upset about something and someone tells you you're just being too sensitive. It doesn't feel great, does it? It kind of makes you want to stop talking about what's bothering you and just keep it all inside next time. That's exactly what happens with kids too. When their feelings are brushed off as being too sensitive, they start to think it's not okay to feel or express their emotions. They might start to keep their feelings to themselves, worried they'll be dismissed or laughed at if they don't. This can make it tough for them to deal with their emotions in a healthy way as they grow up. Instead of learning to process and talk about how they feel, they might bottle everything up until it becomes too much to handle. But here's the thing. Being in tune with your emotions is actually a superpower. It's called emotional intelligence, and it's something that can really help a person thrive in life. It's about understanding what you're feeling, why you're feeling it, and how to express those feelings in a positive way. And guess what? It's something that can be taught and encouraged from a young age. So instead of telling a child they're too sensitive, try acknowledging how they feel. You can say things like, "It sounds like you're really upset about this. Do you want to talk about it?" Or, "I can see this really matters to you. Let's figure it out together." This shows them that their feelings are valid and important. It teaches them that it's okay to feel things deeply and that they can talk about their emotions without fear of being dismissed. By doing this, we're not just helping kids deal with their feelings right now. We're giving them tools to handle whatever life throws at them in the future. They'll be better equipped to navigate the ups and downs of life, from friendships and relationships to all the challenges and adventures that lie ahead. Have you ever caught yourself saying, "I do everything for you and this is how you repay me"? It's a phrase that slips out in moments of frustration, but it's packed with a lot more than we might realize at first glance. Let's dive into what's really going on with this statement. When parents use this phrase, it's often an expression of disappointment or feeling unappreciated. Totally understandable feelings, right? We all want to feel like our efforts are noticed and appreciated. However, when we say this to kids, it sends a confusing message. It kind of sounds like we're saying, "I only do things for you because I expect something back." But that's not really what most parents mean. This kind of talk is what folks call guilt tripping. It's like saying, "Look at all I've done for you, now you owe me." It puts a lot of pressure on kids. They might start to feel like love and care are things they have to earn by acting a certain way or meeting certain expectations. That can be a heavy load to carry. Kids might start thinking, "If I don't do well in school or if I mess up, does that mean my parents won't love me as much?" That's a lot for a young mind to worry about. Here's the thing. The love and care we give as parents or guardians aren't about transactions. It's not like putting coins into a vending machine and expecting a snack to pop out. It's more about giving without expecting anything in return. That's what unconditional love is all about. It means supporting and loving our kids no matter what, even on the tough days. So, what can we do instead of guilt tripping? It's all about communication. Let's say you're feeling unappreciated. It's totally okay to express that, but in a way that doesn't make kids feel like they owe you. You might say something like, "I feel sad when it seems like my efforts aren't noticed. It's important to me that we recognize each other's contributions to our family." This way, you're sharing your feelings without making them feel guilty or like they have to pay you back for your love and care. By avoiding guilt tripping, we teach kids that love isn't something they have to earn. They learn that family is about supporting each other because we care, not because we're keeping score. And that's a lesson that'll help them build healthier relationships, both now and in the future. You'll never amount to anything. Ouch, right? This is one of those things that can really sting, especially when it comes from a parent or someone a kid looks up to. It's like a verbal punch that can knock the wind out of a child's sails. Let's chat about why this phrase can be so harmful and what we can do instead. First up, words are super powerful. They can lift someone up or bring them down. When a child hears something like, "You'll never amount to anything," it can stick with them, playing over and over in their head. It's like planting a seed of doubt in their mind about their abilities and their future. And the thing about seeds is, they tend to grow. This doubt can grow into a belief that they're not capable of achieving their dreams, which is the last thing we want for our kids. What's really tricky about these negative predictions is that they can turn into what's called a self-fulfilling prophecy. That means if someone believes they won't succeed, they might start acting in ways that make it come true. They might give up on challenges more easily, or not try as hard, thinking, "What's the point?" It's a cycle that can really mess with their ambition and how they see themselves. But here's the good news. We have the power to change the script. Instead of forecasting failure, we can be our kids' biggest cheerleaders. Everyone faces challenges and setbacks, but it's how we deal with them that counts. Encouraging our kids, focusing on their strengths, and helping them learn from mistakes can make a huge difference. Imagine replacing "you'll never amount to anything" with "I believe in you," or "It's okay to make mistakes. What's important is that you don't give up." Messages like these can fuel a child's ambition and help them build a strong sense of self-worth. They start to believe in their potential and that they can overcome challenges, which is exactly the kind of mindset that leads to success. Supporting our kids in this way doesn't mean we ignore areas where they need to improve. It's about balancing constructive feedback with plenty of encouragement and support. It's letting them know we see their potential and that we're here to help them every step of the way. Ditching the doom and gloom predictions and focusing on encouragement can help our kids shoot for the stars. And who knows, they might just land on the moon. The sky's the limit when kids feel supported and believe in themselves. Stop crying or I'll give you something to cry about. It's a phrase that's been around for ages, but let's talk about what it really means and why it's not the best approach. When a child hears this, it's pretty scary. It's like saying, "Your feelings don't matter, and if you keep showing them, things will get worse." That's not the message we want to send, right? Children feel things deeply, just like adults do. Sadness, frustration, disappointment. It's all part of being human. Telling a child to stop crying dismisses their feelings as unimportant, which can be pretty confusing and hurtful. But there's more to it. This kind of threat can make kids afraid to show their emotions. They might start to think, "If I show I'm upset, I'll be in trouble." So they might start hiding how they feel, bottling up their emotions. And let's be honest, bottling up emotions isn't healthy for anyone. It can lead to bigger emotional problems down the line. What we want is for kids to know it's totally okay to express their feelings, even the sad or angry ones. It's part of learning how to deal with emotions in a healthy way. Instead of telling them to stop crying, we can help them understand and work through what they're feeling. Imagine this. A child is upset and starts to cry. Instead of saying, "Stop crying," you could try, "I see you're really upset. Do you want to talk about what's making you feel this way?" This opens the door for them to share their feelings and learn that it's okay to express them. It also shows that you're there to listen and support them, which is exactly what they need. It's about creating a safe space where kids can show their emotions without fear. This helps them grow into emotionally healthy adults who can express their feelings and deal with life's ups and downs in a positive way. So, next time the tears start to flow, remember it's an opportunity to teach valuable emotional lessons. By validating their feelings and offering support, you're helping them develop the emotional tools they'll use for the rest of their lives. So we've talked a lot about the things that can go wrong in how we talk to our kids. It's a bit heavy, but it's super important. The thing is, the way we interact with our kids can really stick with them, for better or for worse. It's not just about the here and now, it's about the long haul, shaping who they grow up to be. Realizing there's a problem is the first step toward fixing it. It's like when you're lost. You can't find your way back until you admit you took a wrong turn. Once we see where we might be going wrong, we can start to make it right. It's about swapping out hurtful words and actions for understanding, patience, and a whole lot of love. Change isn't easy, but it's definitely possible. It starts with us, the adults. We've got to lead by example, showing our kids how to handle emotions, setbacks, and disagreements in a healthy way. And when we mess up, we own it. We apologize and show them that everyone makes mistakes, but it's how we fix them that counts. Remember, it's never too late to switch things up. Maybe you've said or done things you're not proud of. That's okay. What matters is what you do next. Every day gives us a new chance to do better, to be kinder, and to help our kids feel loved and valued for who they are. Our ultimate goal is to raise kids who are not just book smart or successful in their careers, but who are also good at handling their emotions. We want them to be resilient, to bounce back from tough times, and to know deep down that they're loved unconditionally. Choosing our words carefully is a big part of this. Every word we say to our kids can help build them up or tear them down. Let's aim to be builders, creating a strong foundation of love, respect, and understanding that they can carry with them into adulthood. In the end, it's about more than just avoiding certain phrases. It's about creating a home environment where everyone feels safe, heard, and loved. It's about breaking the cycle of toxicity and paving a new path filled with empathy and understanding. Together, we can make a difference in the lives of our children, setting them up for a future where they're not just surviving, but thriving. And if this video has struck a chord with you, if you've found yourself nodding along or thinking of ways you can make a change in your own life, why not hit that like button? It's a small way to show your support and helps more people find this message. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more insights, advice, and conversations about making our world a kinder, more understanding place. Tap the notification bell so you won't miss out on our latest content. We'd love to hear from you in the comments below. What's one thing you're taking away from today's video? Or maybe you've got a story or tip of your own about changing the script in your family. Let's keep the conversation going. Before you go, think about this. What's one positive, encouraging thing you can say to a child in your life today? Share it with us down below. Your words have the power to uplift and inspire, and together, we can start a ripple effect of positivity. Thank you for watching, for listening, and for being willing to make a change. Here's to building a better future, one word at a time. See you in the next video.